Welcome back to another first impression. This time for the anime Solo Camping for 2. We have the synopsis from any list. Gen Kinokura, 34 years old, a solitary camper who cherishes his alone time in nature. Gen enjoys his usual solo camping trips. However, he unexpectedly encounters Shizuku Kusano, a complete beginner at camping. Reluctantly, Gen ends up camping with Shizuku despite it being the last thing he wanted to do. What will become of Gen's peaceful camping life now that it's turned upside down by his new companion? So this is a camping anime. Shocker, I know. It is somewhat interesting. I love acquiring new knowledge, and we do get presented a lot of knowledge around camping, tools you can use while camping, some of the how you should behave. We got to see some of that, like an unspoken code between campers. Now, in general, this seems like a comedy, not comedy, a romance, maybe slice of life around camping between these two characters. So we have Gen Kinokura. He just likes to solo camp. He just likes to relax, go out into the wilderness to a camping ground, pitch his tent and just relax, be one with nature. To be honest, very healthy attitude to have. Go away from the bustle of the city, get some nicer fresh air, be in nature, do some naturey stuff, relax, don't be on the phone, don't be on the internet, don't work, don't socialize. He doesn't really like socializing seemingly. Just relax, be alone, and just sit back, enjoy the sun. And again, very healthy attitude to have. Now, he gets interrupted by Shizuku Kusano, who she went camping once with her friends, and she more or less convinced Gen to do camping for 2. It's like you are camping together, but you are also solo camping. It's a little bit, they do have some specific rules set up. However, it seems like that Shizuku may develop feelings for our guy. We don't really have much information about Shizuku. Age, what she's doing, does she have a job, is she university or college? She's definitely of age, she is allowed to drink, which I assume is 18 years in Japan, I don't really know. So, and she's able to buy a tent. So, she does have the money. So I'm assuming she's working at it in some kind of fashion. And she's a newbie in camping. That is the dynamic. She's new. She's the useful part of the story, while Gen is a little bit older. He just wants to be left alone. Just relax. Don't hurry too much, just leave me alone. Don't yap at me. Don't do all that stuff. Now, Shizuku, the one thing she can do is cook. So we have this little dynamic. She can cook. He's good at camping. He's teaching her to camp. She then, offers to serve some food. The food looks delicious. I mean, holy crap, what she is able to, make. It is, quote unquote, simple. It still looks freaking delicious. So good. And this is the idea. Now, one of the big parts, you do get a lot of knowledge. In animes, in general, they do not like to use company names for like products because they need permission. They need to go to the company, be like, hey, can I use your company name in whatever I want to do? And they then could go, sure, go ahead, or meh. And you probably have to sign some documents. Now, this show has a bunch of them. And I mean a bunch. They have a slide at the end which shows a lot of different names. Those are like 20 or so names. And we also get told a bunch of things or, objects. And I did search for most of them, and they are all real. MSR is one of them. It's like a tent company. They do like camping tents. And you can see the tent, I believe this one here already. You can see this tent on their website. You could buy the same tent, which I do appreciate because, in anime we have always this McDonald's instead of McDonald's, so everyone knows what you're talking about, but we can't really say it. I appreciate that we are able to showcase some of this camping equipment, especially because this is then going to be able, if you like camping, which I would strongly recommend checking this show out, you get some information, what companies are out there, what you could potentially need. It's not like you only need a tent and maybe a chair. There's a bunch of stuff you can use and probably need. If you want to make a fire, and you can't start a fire everywhere. Maybe you need it feels like they had some kind of metal gesture to put the wood in there and start a fire, so the fire wouldn't burn on the ground, which is what some camping grounds don't want because of specific reason, we get told. And there's a bunch of other stuff you could, we do see coffee grinder naturally. There's also I don't know what it was called again, but they have like a long telescope staff similar where they can blow into the fire to, I guess, offer oxygen to the fire. Never saw any of that. It looks like one of these bamboo, where you would push out or, attack someone with like little darts. Similar to that, but in a telescope, so it's easier to carry around. We do also get some other stuff shown, like there's a specific plate he used to cook. I did like the eating animation because in most shows, whenever they bite, it's like a very neat piece of the meat is then cut out, but he had a real bite mark in the meat, which I did appreciate. The animation overall is fine. It's not the greatest, but it's fine. It's mostly enjoying, a little bit camping and these two characters that seemingly get closer. Okay, but I yapped long enough. AniList has it at 62%. My anime list at 6.9. We do not have a lot of votes, so you have to take the score with a grain of salt. I would say this is a fine show, 7 out of 10. If you like camping, strongly recommend checking it out. We also saw a beer can chicken. I have never heard about that, but seemingly it is something that Americans like to do somehow, somewhere. I don't know. I just googled it. It is a real thing. Again, never heard of it, but you can see it in the show. Again, if you like camping, definitely check it out. Romance seems to be there. We will see how it progresses. If you like to acquire knowledge about, stuff you do not really interact with a lot, like camping in my case, check it out, get some new information. We get smarter every day.